and welcome to, I'd like to say a bright and sunny day, but I can't say that, here in Winnipeg. We got, I think it's the forest fires that are causing us to have what you might call a really hazy sun. Oh, I guess about half an hour, maybe a little longer ago, I was outside. I saw my neighbor outside with Missy, and so I thought I'd go out and give Missy her little tickle on her back, and she likes that. Anyway, the neighbor says, "Did you see the sun this morning?" And I said, "No." And I was kind of looking for it too, because it's sort of part of my routine. And I didn't notice anything unusual about it, but that was because my camera was too low to the horizon, I guess. Well, we were in the front of the house, and the sun is out at the back. So she says, "Well, you go take a look out back." And so anyway, you look up at the sun, and you can sort of see where it is, and it's you can tell that it's not cloud cover or haze, ordinary haze from clouds. It's probably the smoke from the forest fires that are happening really, really bad west of here, probably 700 miles, 1,000 kilometers maybe. Yeah, in a province called Alberta, which is a couple of provinces over. For those of you that don't know, Canada is huge in area but small in population. So we go from the east coast to the west coast. I don't think I've ever measured it, but I'm guessing it's about maybe 7,000 kilometers overall. So anyway, where am I going with this? We have a funny sunrise this morning. Well, there's no sunrise. Anyway, now speaking of bicycles, which you have probably just seen, I have pretty much decided what kind of e-bike I'd like to get. And I was mentioning it in a comment to Chris at Pebble Creek. And the kind that I've sort of decided on, I haven't really seen anything exactly like it. But you can get them with the motor in the hub, like inside the wheel. They're very common. Or you can get the kind that attached to the crank. And as near as I can tell, they have actually more torque than the kind that are in the hub. I don't want something that I can't go off road, so to speak, and it's going to bog down. Like, say you try to give you an example. If you ever try to pedal on a beach in the sand, it's almost impossible. Not that I'm going to want to, but well, you never know. I might want to. I want to have. The way I described it to Chris was that if you've ever driven a 4x4 or a Jeep or a Land Rover or an Austin Gypsy, and I've driven all of those, most of them have what's known as a low range. Now my Subaru is 4-wheel drive, but it doesn't have a low range. But it's got pretty good traction. Anyway, I'm getting off the subject, aren't I? So you can slip your vehicle into low range, and it's bordering on being like a farm tractor. You can crawl along pretty slow and have really good torque on the axles, but the engine's hardly working at all. So what I want to do is I'd like to get an e-bike that has a mid-mount engine, a mid-mount motor, and with really good torque, and on the back wheel a large sprocket, so that I have lots of power there, if you know what I'm trying to say. But I haven't really seen anything like that. Like I've Googled trail e-bikes and stuff like that, and there's the odd one that comes up, and it's sort of a small little thing with small wheels, and I can see where something like that. But I want something with the big wheels and the fat tires that will be good on both pavement and like on bike paths, like where you saw the cyclist going there a while ago over the bridge, and That's a beautiful bike path, by the way. It runs for, it must go, the furthest north it goes, I'm trying to think now in my mind here. It, it it's pretty much a straight line, except for where it zigzags and goes over the bridge and stuff like that. Oh, 5 kilometers maybe. It's a special bike path. There was a fellow here in Winnipeg who had done very, very well financially, and he put that in for the city, among other things. And yeah, it's very close here. Like if I got on my bike here, I would be on it in about a minute. Yeah, about a minute I'd be on it, and then you could go either to the north or you could go to the south. And anyway, that's the kind of e-bike I want to get. And that's what I've been, sort of looking into lately. Now, I've been thinking that maybe today I'll jump in the car and I'll go to the bike store. There's a large bike store here in Winnipeg, right close to where I live. Well, a couple of miles. And I'll wait until the rush hour traffic is over, and maybe I'll go in there. And first thing I'll do is I'll say I haven't ridden a bike for. I'm trying to think now. I'm thinking 20, maybe 25 years was the last time I actually rode a bike. So I'm thinking that I can do it, but I don't know if my sense of balance is good. So I want to make sure I can still feel safe. And yeah, so if they'd let me take a demonstrator out and just go in the back lane, so to speak, and then just try it out, see if I can still do it. I'd probably have to give them the keys to my car so they'd know I wasn't going to steal the bike. Or maybe not. Maybe they see this old guy come in with a cane, they're going to think to themselves, we don't need to worry about him. He's not going to go very far. And that might be true. And if that's the case, then I'm not going to peruse this idea any longer. But right now, I'm kind of gung-ho about this. I do not want it to become another snowblower. That snowblower that I bought 2 years ago, and I was running around in the nice warm weather with it on the green grass, practicing with it, getting used to handling it, and it was easy in the summertime. But in the wintertime, when you actually need it, it wasn't so easy anymore. The fun was gone. Anyway, yeah, I don't want it to become another snowblower thing. But we'll just see how it goes. Now, what do we got here? Is it still morning? I've been talking so long. Let's see how this came out. If you remember yesterday, I was saying something about I was noticing some funny little things on the like blemishes or something, and I thought maybe did I get the paint on really, really thick there, or what happened? I think we should slip the macro lens on and take a look right here and see what is going on right there, because I'm seeing what looks like little pinholes, and I don't remember seeing that before I painted it. And I can see where something like that could happen if the paint was really, really pooled and then it dried and cracked. Anyway, let's slip our macro lens on and have a nice close look, and we've got to get the masking tape off, and we've got to get our where's our searchlights? There's searchlights somewhere around here. Get them on and then those other little parts that are ready to go. And then I think we're going to be basically done with this module. And okay, and then we would move on to oh no, we got to put all those ladders on. Yeah, and we'll use the clear coat as adhesive. Okay, I'm starting to lose my train of thought here, and I can just hear people clicking stop. So I think maybe it's time to recompose. Okay, this is what I was talking about here. You see what appears to be a little pinhole right there? I'm going to just turn this around a bit. Now I've got one on the other one. There's sort of like a crack or something going on there. It's almost as though the paint had pooled and then dried, crusty. I don't remember seeing that sort of thing before I started painting. I guess I could probably find a video clip that showed it. Okay, now that I'm sitting here and able to look at it up close in front of the computer, I'm realizing that in all likelihood that was when I was trying to frantically get that stupid railing glued on. And I was going nuts with the CA glue. Yeah, that's probably CA glue. It's not paint. I don't know if I should take my little brush and maybe try and fill that in. Because I can actually see that without the macro lens. Okay, let's move on. Now, soon after I shot that scene, I started thinking about this bike situation, and am I going to do anything about it? And it won't happen if I don't actually go to the bike shop. So I jumped in the car, and, well, actually, that's a lie. I shoehorned myself into the car, and off I went to a place called Bikes and Beyond. Now, when I was going down, heading south into town, I thought I'd be able to turn left where was familiar to me. Well, I get there and they're doing construction and there's no left turn. And then for every block that I came to after that, it was no left turn. So I couldn't turn around and park in front of them. Anyway, I ended up having to cross the bridge and come back, but it was kind of fun. A nice day. Why not go for a Sunday drive on Monday, right? Anyway, I got to this place called Bikes and Beyond and got inside, and a fellow there by the name of Robert was extremely understanding and helpful. And that's where I got the surprise of my life. I can't ride a bike. At least not in the store. Maybe if it was outside and I was holding onto the telephone pole and got myself going, I might be all right, but I couldn't ride it in the store. It was embarrassing. Yeah, it was a bit of a shock. Anyway. Well, I see Missy's still here. Anyway, that was a rather disappointing revelation. I'll tell you about it when I get inside. Well, what can I say? Well, I can honestly say I'm not discouraged. I'm not disgusted, but I got to admit I'm a little bit disappointed because I had thought I would probably go into that store, throw my leg over the seat, and just pedal off. And I had a hard time getting on the bike. I couldn't get my leg over it. Robert showed me how to. An easy way to get onto the bike. You lay it on its side and sort of step over it, and then you sort of pull it up between your legs. And that kind of worked. It kind of got on it, but I just couldn't get myself going. And if you can't get going forward, if there's no forward motion, naturally you can't balance. And I never was good on a unicycle. I never even tried a unicycle. Anyway, I'm not going to give up. I'm thinking that possibly something a little lower, like a trail rider style that is fairly low, where your feet are all easy to get on the ground all the time. Maybe that might work for me. But then on the other hand, there's the possibility that my balance is also gone, as well as my agility to pedal and everything. Hey, I'll keep you all posted as to how things happen here. But right now, getting myself a bike, it kind of looks like maybe I shouldn't be doing that. No, no, don't go commenting and telling me it's not safe for somebody my age. No. Now, does this mean now I'm going to be cranky for 2 days? Am I going to be saying don't comment? No, I'm sorry about that. That sort of came out yesterday and the day before a little bit different than I had intended. Anyway, we won't go there. Let's see if there's something. Yeah, we got a little bit of time here left. I haven't wasted the entire day over bicycles. Let's see if we can maybe drop a ladder or two down on our little part here. Yeah, that should work. I can still do that. Okay, some of these ladders are obvious. For instance, there's that little short one that has to go up to the crow's nest. Oh, speaking of crow's nests, I did, when I was working on this originally, I did not realize that it was a crow's nest. I knew that that was a railing to keep, whoever was standing there from falling out, but I never thought of it in terms of a battleship that was made back in the 40s would have a crow's nest. I thought it was like old sailing ships from back in the Mayflower and that sort of thing. I thought they had crow's nests. But I guess, yeah. Can you imagine, though? I think one of the viewers was commenting and said, can you imagine being at the, a sailor up in the top of that thing? And I commented back, yeah, and especially when the ship would be rocking back and forth like in heavy seas, that you'd have had to hang on for dear life. And you'd have to have a pretty strong stomach too. Yeah, you wouldn't want to have filled yourself up on pizza just before you went up there. Okay, let's where should we start here? Now very carefully, I have to remember now, I just can't go grab this thing any old way at all because I'll end up breaking this off. So maybe if I'm smart, I will always have this thing facing towards me so I can see it. It's sort of like if you keep your eye on the blade, you're not going to stick your finger in the blade, that sort of thought. So, can I lay this safely on its side anywhere? I wonder if maybe I should be putting that screw back in so that I can let gravity be our friend, because that ladder, I think this little guy, it has to go up on here, and it'll just sort of have to lay on the mast. Maybe we'll pick some of the others that are easier that adhere just directly to the side of the superstructure here. Okay, enough chatter. Let's get ourselves reorganized here. Now, if you will remember, we had taken a pair of old tweezers and we filed down the points. Oh my goodness. I think Phyllis is doing my front yard. The grass is growing. Boy, the grass grew fast. It's just all of a sudden we go from shoveling snow to mowing grass. It's like there's... Anyway, I don't want to be scratching the top of this. Just want to break it loose here. Okay. Come on. There we go. We're loose. Okay. Now, it's got to go right there. Just right underneath this little lip, which is going to have a railing on it. I'll put the macro lens on, and we'll get in nice and close right here. Maybe I'll wait for the lawnmower to stop. Okay, now these are the other tweezers that I had specially made. And we're going to get underneath that part and drop it down right there. Now, don't fall off on me, don't fall off on me. Try and get it in the center. That's pretty good. Maybe it could go a little bit more towards you. Sorry to be getting my big unkempt fingers in your way. Oh. Yeah, almost there. Just a little bit more. But okay, right over top of that seam. If I get it on that seam, then I would know. Maybe I need something different to poke with here. This is a case of where I just can't get both ends to go in the direction I want at the same time. Now that is pretty close. A little bit more. Okay, that is about it. I'm looking straight down on it now, and I can sort of... there. Now don't poke at it. Okay, I get my little brush here and my number 86 flat clear, and yeah. I'm looking at the ladder, and it seems that it has to go. Let me get some more on there, and that way I can move it without worrying about it moving too much, if you know what I mean. Now I know this looks like a lot, but this will all evaporate. Well, almost all. There'll be enough residue there to act as glue. I'm just trying to move it over. You can probably see me doing that because it's a little bit too much towards you. There. Okay, I think if we let that dry now, let's try and get some down at the bottom here. I think there will be enough connection there that unless I was to pick at it, it's not going to fall off. Okay, let's see what happens after that dries. Okay. Almost 2 o'clock. I am not going to give up on this bike thing. Robert was suggesting maybe a trike. Yeah, I was looking at trikes online too last night, but I thought, I don't want to go that route. If I end up on a trike, I may as well get another mobility scooter like the one I had. Like a lot of you will remember, when I was visiting my mom in Kelowna, I used to run around on a mobility scooter for the last 4 years, at least in the summertime. Well, that was not hers. That was mine. She wouldn't touch that thing. I think she had the thought that if she got on it and headed for the store, she'd end up in the lake. Yeah, she wouldn't touch it. Anyway, I used it for getting around. Yeah, right now I'm at the point where I'm kind of sorry I sold it. And yet it was too big and heavy to get into the house. I mean, it was one of the biggest ones you could get. For those of you that know anything about mobility scooters, it was a, what do you call it? A shop rider, something like Trailblazer or something like that. Anyway, I think it had a 2-horse motor and 2 big car batteries. Well, they were special car batteries. That thing had power and speed as far as mobility scooters go. That thing would really go. Anyway, enough about that. I'm going to probably carry on a little bit here on this later this afternoon, but for right now, I'm going to cut her off. And yeah, by the way, I doubt if you're listening, Robert. Thank you for all your help and understanding and not laughing. Yeah. Thanks for watching, everybody. And all being well, we'll be seeing you tomorrow.